Hey guys, it's Marshall from Going Gear, and today we're going to take a look at one of our big and bright lights, the Olight SR92. The SR90 and SR91 from Olight have been our kind of highest performing lights for a pretty long time now. Nothing else really approaches the output and throw that they have, so it's not really a surprise that the only company that's trying to compete with them are Olight themselves. So this is the SR92 as opposed to the SST90 LED that the SR90 and SR91 use. This one actually uses CREE XM-L LEDs, and I'll show you that a little bit better here in just a second. So this is a rechargeable light. You have a rechargeable battery pack on there, so this is the charging brick for it. You have a cap. You can actually take the battery pack off and put this cap on there for storage. Nice shoulder strap, really substantial shoulder strap. And then here is the cord for the charging brick. Instruction manual, and the light itself. I've had people ask me if they make a holster for these kind of lights, and I don't know if they're serious or not. So I'll go ahead and say that no, we currently don't have anything that will fit them. So here are some spare O-rings, and that's pretty much all you get with the light. So we'll set that stuff to the side and show you the light itself. So physically, you can see, we'll pull out the SR90, the head, a little bit different than what you get on the SR90. You see that it's actually significantly shorter because it has those 3 XMLs, not quite as deep of a reflector as what you get with the SR90. So you can see 3 XMLs versus the single SST90 LED on the SR90. And then compared to the SR91, we have that one as well. Got pretty close to the same length. It's a little bit shorter than the SR91. But the head is wider than you get on the SR91. Okay, I got all that other stuff out of the way so we can focus more on the SR92. So it has the same battery pack as the 90 and the 91, so you have that battery life indicator. Just hit that button on the bottom. You can see how much battery life you have indicated by those 4 green LEDs. Here's the charging port, so that's where it plugs into. Lanyard attachment point, or the shoulder strap attachment point rather. And here's the other one, so you can see you have those 2 points. And some people don't like the look of that. You can actually remove those, so what you have to do is just remove the cap here, just unscrew it, and then that comes off. And then same with the bezel up here, you can unscrew the bezel and detach the rings for the shoulder strap attachment. So the interface on this is the same interface as you get with the rest of the SR92 or the SR lights. What you have is this switch on the side, and you tap it, and it'll come on into whatever mode you had it in last. And there's 2 outputs. Press and hold, and it'll cycle between those 2 different outputs. And then you have strobe as well, and you can get to that from either on or off. Either way, just double click, and that's how you get to your strobe. And then from off, same thing, just double click, and you'll get right into that strobe. Here's a little bit better look at the reflectors and the LEDs. You got those 3 XML LEDs. You can see they're significantly smaller than the SST90s used in the SR90 and the SR91. So you can get away with smaller reflectors and still have pretty solid throw. But we'll take all 3 of the lights outside just so you can see how they compare against each other. But I just wanted to show you the LED and reflector in a little bit better detail. You can see still really nice detailing and machining and everything on this light. It is a little bit more compact. It's still not something you would want to carry around in your pocket unless you just have massive pockets, but it's not out of the realm of a possibility of keeping it in your backpack for search and rescue personnel or somebody who just wants a ridiculous amount of light. So that's the light, that's the interface and everything. We'll go ahead and take these lights outside and we'll show you how they do outside. Okay, normally I go outside and I hold up all the lights I'm going to be showing you, but these are a little too big. I can't hold all 3 of them in one hand. So here's the SR92. We're going to be comparing it to the big 40 mag light that I always use. This is the short range shot. So let's try that mag light out first. There's that little bush at 15 feet. Tree out there at 100 feet. Zoom in on that. Alright, this is going to be more embarrassing than normal for the mag light. There you go. There's your SR92. You can see my entire backyard is lit up really well. I mean, it's almost like daylight out here. It's lit up so well. Well, maybe dusk or dawn anyway. We'll shine that around a little bit and then drop it down to the lower output that you can see is still brighter than the vast majority of other lights on the market. You know, even some of the high output single XML lights, this is going to still outperform a lot of those. Shine that around a little bit. Put it back in high just so you can see that again. We'll zoom in on the tree. It's almost too much light. And then there it is on the lower output. Okay, let's try those other two SR lights and see how they do at these shorter distances. As I knock over all the flashlights I have set up here. Here's the SR91. You see more focused on that one. I accidentally dropped it in the strobe. There you go. There's the lower output on it. Higher output. We'll zoom in so you can see that. See the difference between the two. Alright, that's the SR91. Let's try out the SR90. There's the SR90. You can see really concentrated hotspot on this. That's what you get with that huge reflector that it has. Insane throw on this one. Obviously 100 feet is no problem. 100 yards, 500 yards is really no problem with this thing. As you probably saw if you watched our comparison videos. We'll shine that around a little bit. Honestly, I wouldn't want this light for distances like this because it's almost too bright. And it's not the lightest light in the world. But for distance, nothing really beats the SR90 or the new SR92, as you'll see here in just a second when we try out longer distances like the 100 yards that I do in the distance shots. So let's go and do that. Let's try out a longer distance. Alright, we've got some longer distances now. Still way less than what these guys can do. But I've got 100 yards to work with now, so we'll show you what they can do. Try out the mag light first. There's my house at 50 yards. You can see it does okay at 50 yards. Tree in the front yard at 100 yards. I can't really make anything out. I can tell that it's making it out there, sort of, but I can't really tell any difference between it and moonlight for the most part. So let's try out that SR92, see how that bad boy does. Make sure it's on high. There you go. You can see not only the tree but in the front yard, but all the trees around me as well are all lit up really well. You see even the spill just on the bottom of the house down here. You can see the spill of the light is lighting up the house at 50 yards. All the trees around it lit up really well, and that's just the spill. So I mean, you can imagine what this thing can do at longer distances. Obviously 100 yards, actually that's a little bit beyond 100 yards to the top of that tree. Absolutely no problem for the light. And really great spill on this one. So that's the 92. We'll try out the 91 next, see how it does. Alright, there you go. That's the 91. Show you the two different outputs. You can see still really great throw on this one. Really great spill. All of these are really nice lights. Still can light up the house. Light up everything around it with just the spill. Alright, that's the 91. Let's try out the SR90. This is the big bad boy of the Olight family, and you can see why. Incredible amount of light coming out of it. This doesn't really do it justice, and the other two aren't really done justice with 100 yards either. Check out our comparison video series that we did recently if you want to see some longer distances. But the SR90 can do 400 or 500 yards extremely well, and even beyond that you'll still be able to light up targets and objects very well. But we had about 500 yards to work with, or 400 or 500 yards to work with before, and the SR90 was getting out that far, and it was like it was daylight out there. So that's the SR90. We'll show you the SR90 and the SR92 side by side just so you can see the difference in the beams. So there is the SR92 on the left, SR90 on the right. So you can get an idea of the difference in the concentrations. I'll show you the two different outputs on both of them. So that's the lower output on both. There's a higher output on both. So you can see definitely more concentrated on the SR90. More of a wider hotspot on the 92, so if you want to light up a wider area at once, 92 is the way to go. If you want to get that punch, that distance, then the 90 is the way to go with that huge reflector and the SST90 LED. So alright, that is the new Olight SR92 with the 3 XML LEDs. Still uses the same battery pack as the 90 and the 91. If you have extra battery packs, you can swap them out. If you like it, you can get it from us at goinggear.com. You can get the 90, the 91, and hundreds of other lights as well. If you like the video, be sure to subscribe. We do a whole lot of flashlight videos. And if you have any questions or comments, you can reach us in the comments or at goinggear.com, as I almost knocked my brand new, really expensive camera over. Thanks for watching.